Welcome to Jen's Daily Dish. Today we're making a Butterflake herb loaf that you can customize and make however you want. I'd like you to imagine a loaf of bread, which we will make in a loaf pan, that pulls apart in like perfect little buttery, yummy, herby slices. But do you want to make a sweet variation? Feel free. Add whatever you want. This is going to be delicious. How could it not be? Loaf that you pull apart, yummy. We're also making it because woke up in the morning, wondered what to bake today. What do you say? Come on now. It's a Sunday morning, looking for something fun to do. How about it, friends? Let's make an herb loaf or two. This loaf comes together pretty quickly, but has 2 different hour-and-a-half resting periods. So just be forewarned and pick out your Netflix movies in advance. That's all I'm saying. We start off in the microwave and then we let the dough rest. We shape it and then we let it rest and then we bake it. Use a microwave-safe container or measuring cup. This is half a cup of whole milk because I've cut the recipe in half. I will only be making 1 loaf today. Add in your 2 tablespoons of butter. Again, my recipe is cut in half. 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. I have 1 teaspoon of salt. You can cook this on top of the stove in a saucepan, but I'm going to put it in the microwave. Heat until the butter melts. Once this is cooled down to lukewarm, go ahead and add it to your mixing bowl, or feel free to mix by hand. 1 large egg. 1 teaspoon instant yeast. 2 cups of all-purpose flour. It's a little bit over that. I'm going to hold back just a little bit of the flour in case I need it. This is optional, but it's a tablespoon of dried potato flakes. This is a garlic variation of those instant potatoes, and it is going in. I'm adding in the extra flour because it is very, very wet. So this is just over 2 cups of flour. It should form a sticky but smooth dough ball, and it's kind of coming together into a ball. So I am going to call it a day and let it rest. Into your greased bowl. Cover and let rise for 90 minutes. It may or may not double, but it should definitely be very puffy. While the dough is rising, let's make the filling. 4 tablespoons softened, unsalted butter. 1/4 teaspoon salt. The recipe calls for a teaspoon of grated onion. I'm not using that. I'm just going to be using minced onions here that are dried, and I'm adding that in. This is a little bit over 1/2 teaspoon. The recipe calls for 1 clove of garlic minced, but because I've halved it, I don't know. I like garlic, so I'm adding extra in. 1/4 teaspoon caraway seeds or fennel. 1/4 teaspoon dry basil. A little bit less than 1/4 teaspoon of oregano. Cayenne pepper is optional. I'm leaving it out. Mix together. Look how much it rose. Now let's take the air out of it and then fill it with the filling and then put it in the pan. Lightly flour or oil your surface. Gently deflate it. Spread it out into a 12-inch circle. Now that we've got our 12-inch circle, go ahead and use something that's about 3.5 to 4 inches in diameter, and we're going to cut about 10 circles in this round. So let's do that. 8.5 by 4.5 loaf pan ready to go. It is lightly greased. Take one of your circles and put the filling on half. This doesn't have to be pretty. Then we're gonna fold it up and we're gonna place it right in here. It may not look so pretty at this point, but don't worry. Cover with greased plastic wrap and let rise for another 90 minutes. Towards the end of the rise cycle, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Look how puffy it got. Into the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. It should be a deep golden brown. If it starts to get too brown on top, just tent it with some tin foil. Time's up. It smells delicious. Ooh, look at that. Wow. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it out and then we get to taste it warm. I don't have to wait this time. Oh, look how pretty that is. This smells delicious. It looks delicious. You can see all those lovely pull apart layers. Let's actually pull that apart. Look at that. Let's tear this piece off here and let's take a bite. Oh my deliciousness. This baked so well. I can see how moist it is and filled with the butter and those herbs. It really is a butter flake herb loaf and utterly delicious. If I can make a Butterflake herb loaf for the very first time with you, you can too. And don't forget, you can make this in any variations you want. Sweet, spicy, salty, whatever you want. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check me out on Instagram at Jen's Daily Dish and more. And I'm waiting for those recipe requests. Let me know.